Hi everybody, I'm Susan Mulvihill. I'm going to be back in the kitchen today because I want to show you another thing you can do with the vegetables you grew in your garden. Today's recipe is a hearty vegetarian stew, and I'm excited to show it to you. Now before I get started, I wanted to explain one of the ingredients that goes into this recipe. And you don't have to include it, but I want you to know about it. So the brand is Field Roast, and it is a plant-based roast, which I know sounds weird, but it is absolutely delicious. Now I am not 100% vegetarian because I do eat fish, but this product is fantastic. I had it in a vegetarian restaurant quite a few years ago, and I thought they accidentally brought me meat because it is that flavorful. So just some examples of what's in it. Wheat gluten, which, sorry, if you're gluten-free, you won't want to use this, but garlic, onions, apples, mushrooms, vinegar, lentils, carrots, tomato paste, spices, and so on. It's very good. It's easy to find in the frozen food section where you find vegetarian types of things like burger patties and so on. And that's what I'm going to put in this stew. Now you can leave it out, or if you want to add in some type of a meat, you could certainly add in some chunks of cooked chicken or cooked beef. But I really like this field roast, and I thought more people need to know about this because it is very good. And if you're vegetarian and you're not familiar with this product, I do recommend it. But obviously you can make this stew without adding any type of meat or meat-like product. Let's talk about the ingredients you're going to need to make this stew. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I will put the recipe in the information underneath the video. If you're looking at it from my website, susansinthegarden.com, I will also put the recipe online. But let's just go through everything so that you know what you're going to need. 2 large cloves of garlic, 1.5 to 2 cups of chopped onions, a 14-ounce can of tomatoes with the juice if you don't have any available from your garden, 1.5 cups of water, 2/3 of a cup of red wine, 1/2 cup of ketchup. I know that sounds odd, but it makes the broth thicker and more flavorful. About 6 cups of cubed butternut squash or any other type of winter squash, 1 large potato chopped, 2 cups of green beans, and I've got some frozen ones to put in, a teaspoon of dried thyme, about 2.5 cups of chopped field roast, like I was showing you, and about a cup of quartered mushrooms. Now, the roads are slick, so I don't have time to run to the store. It's not safe. So I'm going to use some canned mushrooms, which is the second best thing, but it still adds those nice mushrooms in there. Okay, let's get started. I've put a couple of tablespoons of canola oil into this 6-quart kettle, and I've got it on medium-high heat. So I'm adding in the onions and the garlic, and I'm going to stir them until they are translucent. That usually takes just a few minutes. Now I'm going to start adding in all of the ingredients. There's the tomatoes, the potatoes, the wine and the water, here's the field roast, in case you're wondering what it looks like. Mushrooms. Ketchup. beans. And it's perfectly okay that they're still frozen. And then I have a combination of freshly cut squash and a little bit of frozen just to make it up to the 6 cups. And last but not least, some thyme. You see how quickly this goes together. The main thing I want to recommend is that you cut up all of your vegetables, get your ingredients all together first, and then get started. So I'm just going to stir this together so it's evenly mixed. And once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer and cook it for about 45 minutes. Okay, it came to a boil, so I just moved it down to simmer. And I wanted to mention that you should stir it every so often because you don't want it to stick to the bottom of your pan. You certainly don't want it to burn on the bottom, so keep an eye on the heat. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the lid on part way here. But check it often to make sure it's doing okay. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes. I'm just taking a fork to test the tenderness of the squash and the potatoes. And both of them pierce easily, so it is ready to serve. And there it is, the perfect thing to warm you up on a cold winter's night. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.